Under the stairs. Born without celebration, an inconvenience, an invisible leg iron tethering my liquor-addled mother. I opened the cupboard under the stairs, and as the light washed in and painted its walls, I saw that it was empty, untainted. It stayed empty for a few years. Relentlessly, the drink hollowed her. Father could take no more. He succumbed to the guiding hand of self-preservation, leaving me in the derelict lot of abandonment. I looked in the cupboard, and in it was a harvest mouse, ridiculously tiny, with big eyes, soft fur, and adorable little paws. I closed the door. A few years slouched by. Mother took a man. He was a one-dimensional villainous caricature plucked from an old movie. He added a particularly sour note to an already off-key refrain. He beat her till she bled and fell. I opened the cupboard under the stairs. In it now, a rat, a lonely-looking creature. It scared me. I sought comforts, food, warmth, solace in music, isolation. 2 long years passed, then a drunken stumble on the stairs, and the man died. I did not mourn, for my every particle was ablaze, bellowed by the winds of ire. Mum mourned, and sank deeper, drowning, as wet on the inside as the out. I looked in the cupboard. There was a squirrel, a mangy squirrel. It shook violently, for it was scared. It bared its teeth. I turned my back and ignored it. The brakeless coach trundled on, leaving me in its ruts. Mother plummeted headlong down the abyss and landed on the ground of broken boundaries. Her humanity was killed in the fall, and the beating started. Bruises spread like spilled ink on my already weary body. I wept and dug deeper my distrust. I scanned the landscape for relief, and the poison resolutions called me. I called back, and in my newfound friends I found deep solace and my destruction. In the space under the stairs, the squirrel had been slaughtered and replaced by a fox. A bastard fox. She told me not to worry. "Have another tipple," she said, "and take plenty of these. They are wonderful." She looked like an answer, so I did. More time spiraled, sucked deep down into the vastness. Mother faded into the ether, along with everyone, everything else. I was unimaginably alone, lost in the thick tangle of my own denial. Time flowed like thickened treacle. I crawled and scraped my way to the fox. Where is everything?" I asked. She stared at me in silence, then vanished. In her place appeared a dog, a slobbering, foaming, rabid dog. I jumped back in horror, frightened, slamming hard the door. I needed more solace, but the powdered resolutions had run their last race. In the spike, my next escape, sweet intravenous relief accelerating the descent. The digging and gouging lasted for untold, unchanged years. Then, from out the maelstrom, Mother appeared, a personified ghost of a woman. She looked at me and cried. She was scribbled and distant, and I could not hear her. The hourglass continued to flow, and entropy fed ravenously. Dad came back from the lost years, just for a while, just for me. His distress he wore like an illuminated peacock tail. He pleaded with me, but my poisoned armour held. In considering him, I saw only betrayal. I listened to him, but my ears were clogged with anger and the smouldering wreckage of his selfishness. Having gone through the motions, he retreated into nothing. In the cupboard under the stairs, the rabid dog had gone. In its place, a jackal. A furious, savage, visceral jackal with menacing teeth and claws honed to gossamer thin blades. I eyed the beast with morbid curiosity, but I did not fear this monster, for it could not hope to replicate the immeasurable savagery I had inflicted upon myself. It attacked, lunging forth with madness controlling its reins and hatred in its fire-red eyes. I fought back, screaming, swinging with the might of all hell's fury, and my fight was granite hard, but to no avail. At last, beautifully, I was defeated. At some fuzzy point my friend appeared, a medicinal slathering of chilled balm in a desert of scorching despair. My one friend. She said I needed help. I did, desperately, and I heard her. In the quiet of defeat, we made plans through hugs and tears and tea and more hugs and tears. 2 weeks passed and our seedlings broke ground. Before leaving, I checked the cupboard. The dog had returned, but it was no longer rabid. It was calm, subdued, changed. Tentatively, I petted it. In our eyes, mutual pity. In a blink, I was in rehab. The madness slowed and the glacial ascent began. Mid-rough road excavation, I rediscovered the cupboard. I pulled open its old familiar door and found a mirror inside. I looked in the mirror and I saw me. I was bedraggled and ugly. I closed the door, but left it a little ajar. The excavation uncovered relics which stacked and had great weight, bending me, overwhelming me, sometimes with despair, sometimes relief. Over and again the sun climbed and fell, mostly hiding itself behind sewage-laden clouds, and it rained almost continuously. Recovery, eventually, grew to be a tall, strong chaperone. It ushered the clouds to the horizon, and little by little, stalk and leaf, new life sprouted. Once more I looked in the mirror, and once more I saw me. I was not pretty, but I was no longer ugly. I packed my meagre belongings and went home. To my profound disbelief, Mum was sober. Her final straw was the vision of unreachable me. It had ignited her own jackal battle, and she too had been overcome. Together we wept. In a prolonged climb of months and years, we learned to trust and to incubate love. We propped each other when we were weak, and we had many moments, but now, hopefully, we have prevailed. And we continue to fight the menagerie. I open the cupboard under the stairs. In it, there is a harvest mouse, a cute little companion with big eyes and soft fur. But its claws are sharpened to hypodermic perfection.